This card has so many interesting things going on, and check out how it opens. What's really cool is that the focal point of the card is actually on the inside, and that's what you want. You want something that's unexpected to make people really say, wow. Hello everyone, and welcome to sunnydaystamping.com. I'm Julie Baca. I'm so happy that you're here, and I'm excited to show you how to make this fun fold card. It's way easier than it looks. I've got some tricks to show you how to do it, tips all along the way to make it simple to do. You can make your cards look just like mine, and I've got the full list of supplies that you can purchase if you'd like, but the layout for this card you can use with so many stamp sets, so you can use what you've got at home. I've got all of the measurements for this card over on my website. So every video I put out here, there's a blog post that has additional photos, the list of supplies, and all of the measurements right there, because I want you guys to make these at home. To make this card, you're going to need a stamp and die set that you love. This one is so easy to use, and I love the dies that go with it. They cut out the images, but there are also extra pieces of greenery that just cut out cardstock, and I love having both of those in a die set. This one is and when you buy it as a bundle, is 10% off, but it is only at the bundle price through the end of April, because then it's not retiring, but the bundle price goes away. So this is in the new catalog in May. You're also going to need either a punch or a die that will cut out either a circle or a square. I've got examples using both of these. This is the Stylus Shapes die set, and this one is great because you get banners along with the circles and squares, and they have this stitching on them that makes whatever they cut out just super cool. Additionally, you can use an embossing folder to add some extra texture to the front of your card, but that's just like a little extra bonus. The other thing you're going to need are some inks to stamp with, and I'm just using this color palette for all the cards I'm going to make. Just wanted some springtime colors, and I thought they go really well with this soft seafoam. So this card kind of has two card bases, the one on the outside and the one on the inside. So we're going to stamp on that inside card base. So to start with, go ahead and fold it along the score lines. I've got all the measurements for this on my website. So I'm going to go ahead and use that large flower. We're going to use it as our focal point, but we're also going to put it on the inside of our card. And these leaves that go with it and fit it perfectly. Sometimes if you stamp and you just don't have enough leaf, like you want a little more, just add a little extra, and I like that. Now it also has this cute little flower that is just really light, the way that distinctive stamps go, and I'm just gonna put a few of these just so they look like they're blowing in the wind. And then we're gonna make this a birthday card. I love this. Birthday blooms for you. That's the greeting in this stamp set. All right, so you can see that this is what goes on the inside. Oh, we forgot the little inside of this flower. This stamp set actually comes with two different options for the inside of your flower. I love that when I get extra options. So now we're going to close this, and we're going to kind of create a background for our focal point. It comes with these little splatter stamps, and so this is when you just get to have fun stamping. Make sure to rotate it so it's not all going the same direction. This can be really haphazard. And it doesn't even need to be just right there in the center. Now, if you want to add a couple that aren't so strong, you can stamp off your paper and then come back on like that. Now that looks really ugly, but once we put the flower on, it's going to look fantastic. So now you're going to take a scrap piece of paper, and these are what you're going to die cut out. So go ahead and make yourself a flower and a leaf. Oh, I don't think I left myself enough room for my sentiment on this scrap piece of paper. Well, we're just going to try it. We'll see if I can cut it out. If not, I'll get another piece of paper. Oh my goodness, just barely, but not enough. So, well, you know what? I'll use this opportunity to show you something. So if you don't have a banner like die to cut this out, just line it up in your paper trimmer and you can see right through this guide of where it's going to be cut. And so you can just line up your words along the bottom, twist this around and line up the words again. This is just like the easiest way to cut sentiments like really thin for your card. Now I'm not going to use this on this card, but I'll show you where I am going to use this. All right, I got myself another piece of scrap and we're going to try this again. Actually, maybe I will cut this out and then stamp on it. That's what I'm going to do. Now, before we go putting everything away, make sure to stamp on your envelope before all your inks get put away. I don't know about you, but once I put my inks away, I don't grab them back out. Now, that small flower that we used on the inside of our card, I want to do that on this is our actual card base, and I want this to go on the back of our card. I love just throwing one little stamp on the back. You might have been wondering what this big ugly thing is. I like to keep my wet chamois in the stamp set that I'm using at the moment. Like, I don't store it in here all the time, but if I'm using this stamp set, I just keep my chamois right here so I can easily wipe off and then put my stamp right back where it goes. So now you're just going to use your dies to cut out your focal point and a greeting. I'm going to go ahead and stamp on this right now. There we go. Now you're going to choose a piece of foliage, and then if you want to make that bonus card, just go ahead and cut out 2 pieces. And then what you're going to need is to decide for the front of your card if you want it to be a circle or a square. I'm going to make a circle, so I'm going to choose this circle. And then to make the rim around it, that's a different color, you're going to choose whichever one larger. And you're going to nest those together and run that through your machine like this together. Now for these circles that you're making a rim, make sure that they are equidistant all the way around so you have a really even size ring. So you can see that this punches out this centerpiece, which you're going to save this and this for later for a card I want to show you for using those scraps. But you can see that those 2 nested shapes together create a frame that will be so great for this card and so many other ways to use this. Now you're going to take the smaller of the 2 to cut a circle in the front of your card. So the way you're going to do that is to take your card base and make sure it's open. Make sure you folded it so you can really see that line, because you want to line this up perfectly and then center up whatever shape you're using on the front of your card, making sure it's equidistant on all around, and it's going to cut through both pieces of paper. Now, I am going to emboss this sheet afterwards, but if you are not going to emboss it, I would glue this onto your card and then cut it out. Now I'm going to run that circle through, and then I'm going to crank it the other way to run it through that kind of second time to make sure it cuts through both pieces of paper. So now you can see it punched right through. You can save this for another project, and then we're going to emboss this layer. So I just ran this through my machine, but I wanted to show you that to make sure to line up your paper along that line, because then the design that is on your paper will also be lined up correctly. So that was a lot of information. You can find all of it over at sunnydaystamping.com. You can get all of the measurements and everything. If you want my print and make project sheet, these go out to my email subscribers on Friday morning, and there's a link in the description to sign up for that. So now we're just going to glue our pieces together. We're going to glue this on the outside, and it's going to fit perfectly because we cut them together at the same time. And also those stylish shaped dies have that stitching that really kind of locks everything in place. And so we're going to do the same for this rim, putting just the tiniest bit of glue so that it does not get everywhere. So you kind of want to run your finger around that rim because it's on this embossed paper. It needs just a little extra tension to get it to stick down. Now you're going to glue in the insert, so making sure to put glue on this side. We want the folded edge going that way, although the first card I made, I did not glue it in the right way, but it also looks cool, and I will show you that one too to give you might like that way better. So now we're going to glue this flower onto the leaves, and I think it's just easier for me. I just put a little bit of glue on the leaf, and then I lay the flower part on top. So now we're just going to test where we should put this before we add the dimensionals on there, because we want it to show through our window, but we also want part of it to be covered up. So you just kind of want to test it before you glue it down. Now you can glue it down completely, but I like the idea of popping it up with dimensionals, because this is something you do with something on the outside of the card, not on the inside. And I think those unexpected things are just so interesting. I just like to use my take your pick tool to get the backings off of those. It makes it so easy. Then I'm just going to double check again, making sure that it's where I want it before I push it down. We're going to do the same thing to the greeting, just adding a couple dimensionals on here. Dimensionals are these foam, they're just like not a quarter inch, less than a quarter inch thick, maybe an eighth of an inch thick of foam. And so it pops up the greeting or whatever, and it creates a little shadow behind it, which makes it look like, holy cow, that's so neat, but it's just a little dot of glue. Now this looks awesome just like this, but what I thought would be so cool is to add, you could add this whole thing, but I thought, oh, that's kind of distracting. I wanted something just kind of cute and little. So I'm going to snip this apart like this. And maybe I'll do one more. And then I'm going to put glue right here at the bottom in 2 or 3 spots, just at the bottom of this circle, and lay these right on top. Then I'm just going to take some linen thread and just tie a little bow in the end. I like keeping it on the spool because I find that I waste less because I'm not having to guess how much to cut off. So you just tie it on there and then adjust it on here. And when you've got it where you want it, you just snip it off, and there you go. So now you can kind of test to see if the bow is the right size and adjust it. And now what we're going to do, you can use glue to attach it, but I found it way easier to use these glue dots. And you can see that the dots, they're small, but they're still just, wow, this is not focusing. There we go. These dots are just a little too big for the ribbons. So just take your pick tool and roll it into a little ball. Then put it right in the center between those leaves, and then you take the knot of your bow and squish it right into that glue dot, and it's just firmly in there and super cute. Let me show you the rest. So here's what it looked like with the envelope. Isn't that so cute? Here was my first one when I glued it in the wrong way. Oh no, this is the right way. Where's my wrong way one? Here it is. And so it's more like a book, which is not as interesting, but I don't know, still good. Now I'm using this same color palette, the Soft Seafoam, Crumb Cake, and the Granny Apple, with all the same stamp colors too, to create these cards. So you don't need any extra supplies, and I just wanted to give you some other ideas. Same stamp set, same everything. This, I used the square out of the Stylish Shapes just to give you an idea on that. But let me show you now. Remember, we have a leftover, if you have a leftover circle or square, I wanted to give you some ideas. So whenever you have a leftover shape, just add a piece of greenery and a sentiment onto a card and check out. It's just simple, clean and simple, but so cute. And you've already done half the work anyway because you had it cut out. You could add an embossed layer like you wanted. You can see I'm using the same color scheme as these cards. If you're watching in April 2024, there is a huge sale going on with Stampin' Up! Right now, starting April 9th through the end of the month. It's a retiring product sale, getting rid of the old, getting ready for the new catalog, but man, you can save up to 60% on some of these products. Make sure to shop early if there's something that you're really wanting, because they obviously won't be restocked. I'd love to be your demonstrator. When you check out, you need to pick somebody, so I'd love it if you pick me. It helps me get these videos out to you every week. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a sunny day.